Welcome to the Queen's Masters Celltrion 2025. This, of course, is being played right here in the Seongmunan country course, and we are coming at you live. It's a par 72, 5,938 meters in all to cover. Round two is what we are into. The dew breakers, or the dew sweepers and the dawn breakers have already pretty much done their bit. We will get to the leaderboard in just a little bit, and also let's talk about who was the big wig yesterday, and it was Lee Yvonne who ruled the roost. There she is, looking actually lovely in her bright outfit. That yellow just goes really well with the summer period. So Lee Yvonne onto her sixth hole. She's actually dropped down the order into tied fifth. She was in tied first with Lee Ga-yong. Lee Ga-yong has actually moved down to a third position. So very interesting to see how these ladies perform here today. Currently ruling the roost right at the top, and a young lady who struggled yesterday with much of her efforts was Bang Shin-sil. She's right at the top today, in tied first with Jung Ji-ho and Han Jin-seon, and they all are on 10 under. So very interesting. Park Hyun-kyung on to her second stroke for hole 7. Meanwhile, it's Jung Yoon-ji who's aiming for birdie on hole number 6. So Bang Shin-sil has actually finished her event. 72 in the first round. She nailed 62 in the second round. Jung Ji-ho and Han Jin-seon have also finished their round 2 with 66 respectively. Lee Ga-yong, of course, is currently through her 9th hole. She's in third position, has still got pretty much the opportunity to scale to the top, because she's currently sitting with an 8 under. Kim Min-byul will tee off for hole number 8. She's using a 9 iron. I think she's got herself into a fairly decent spot. I'm not going to say it's the best, but hey, you got to take what you can and make the most of it. Meanwhile, Park Min-ji, who's grouped with Lee Yvonne, she aims for birdie on hole number 6, and that's just scaled past a little bit too much of a push on that. Remember, Park Min-ji won this event last year. She's the defending champion here, and will be interesting to see what she can come up with. It's been a fairly non-windy day today. Wind speeds are just about 1.3 miles. Lim Hee-jeong will tee off for hole number 8. She's going in with a 9 iron. Yesterday wind speeds were up to about 4.4, and that was a bit of a problem for the golfers. 27 degrees Celsius today, not as sunny. Yesterday it was extremely bright. All the shades came out, the different sunglasses, but today it's cloudy. It's fairly cloudy, so just hoping that the rain doesn't come in, but nothing predicted, so that should work out fine. Lee Won looking to finish on par for hole 6. She's currently 7 under. Or just a narrow miss. And she will land up bogeying that, so it hasn't been a very good start for Lee Won. She's got a hat-trick of wins in the year. It's been a very constructive 2025 for her, and the name Doosan goes very well with whatever she does. So Park Hyun-kyung, bit of a stretch for a birdie here on hole number 7, but she'll have to drive that through. And just a Cuban for her, but I don't think it's going to be too much of a problem to just tap that in and just get it done with. Kim Min-byul, she's on to hole number 8. Will aim for a birdie here, 6.7 meters, and I think an even score would be a little easier. Kim and Bjorn will settle for an even score there. No worries for her for the time being. Now here's Lee Yvonne back again as she tees off for hole number 7. Well, getting a good bit of power into that. She is a powerful little package. She does, of course, variate the way that she tees off. This time getting a whole lot of body into that lovely follow through. She will be looking to, just get back to the form that she was in yesterday. But meanwhile, Lim Hee Jeong will aim for birdie on hole number 8. Needs to be careful with the putt. Well, there's a little bit of a slope downwards. That's got to be a really, really awful miss. It just seemed like that ball was going to travel the distance and find its way through, but... Well, one of the odd things that we've seen on this course, now it's a very fascinating course. So this Yeongmunan, Country Club course opened up in 2022, and 2 years later it was in the top 10 golf courses in Korea Republic. Lee Ga-young onto a third stroke for hole 9, 73 meters to cover. She's kind of been very consistent, kept her third position. She's still got a lot more to play for today, and she just might come up with the goods. You never know. She's that kind of golfer who can surprise you. She did that last year as well. And the interesting bit about this course is that since yesterday, the pace of the actual event was a snail's pace for some reason. And one of that is, of course, a lot of the golfers not being able to find the tin cup. Park Min-ji, second stroke for hole number 7. And you have, golfers like Park Min-ji, Mada Som, and of course, a whole lot of other golfers who've been giving us such fantastic performances, and not being able to find the hole, not being able to find the tin cup is just, it's a bit worrying, and that kind of also changes the mood and the atmosphere of the entire event. Now Jung Yoon Ji, just a bit too much of club on that. She's pushed it further away, but if that rolls back, it's going to work in her favor, and I think that just might be a really good effort from her. Now that puts her in strong contention of a birdie here. Roh Seung-hui onto her third stroke for hole 9. She's with a 6 under here. That's going to stay put for the time being, so no worries for her. Lee Won onto her second. It's quite a meteoric rise for a golfer. Lee Won still in her, not even touched her mid-20s as yet. And she's such a wonderful little golfer. We've seen so much from her. Great talent, meteoric rise actually to the top. Gets herself onto the rough with this one. But there are days in every golfer's calendar and schedule which can change. Now she's had some really great tournaments. Yesterday started very well along with Lee Ga-young, but today just going through the motions. Now here's Park Hyun-kyung teeing off for hole number 8. Another strong golfer who will make her presence felt no matter what. Well, actually, he had nailed that pretty strong, but it's carried a bit of a distance more towards, the outer of the green. I don't think that should worry her too much. Elsewhere, Roh Seung-hui will aim for a birdie on hole 9. And that's just going to sit outside. Needs a little bit of coaxing, and that should do the job. Very soon we will just absorb that all with a smile. Just having a... Well, it's great to see our golfers always in good spirits. Lee Ga-yong now. It's hole number 9. And a birdie for her. That was absolutely smooth. Absolutely smooth here. So she's at, well, 4th right now with a 9 under. That's interesting because we've had a change in that top order. But ever since we gave you the leaderboard. And let's not forget that Lee Won herself has, dropped down to a 6 under. Will attempt a birdie here from the rough. Well, she's just missed out on some great opportunities today. It's just about, getting so close but not being able to, complete the circle. And that's happened, as I said, with so many of our golfers in yesterday as well as, today. That'll be an easy, even score for her. Park Min-ji with her attempt next. And she'll have to settle for an on par as well. Still one of the most seasoned golfers. She's got a massive fan following, terrific, dedication towards the sport. But more importantly, last year Park Min-ji was on fire at this event. Now here's An Sung-yi. She aims for birdie on hole number 9. And that's what I've been saying right through. And don't call it the commentator's curse, because it isn't. I'm just reflecting back on what happened yesterday, and today it's just looking like it's deja vu all over again. Jung Yoon-ji aiming for birdie on hole 7. Well, I thought the ball struck someone. I do love our fans. Always have the greatest expression. So, temperature hasn't changed, too much in these spots. It's just gone up to 20 degrees Celsius, but the wind is beginning to come down a bit hard. It's 3.9 miles now. We started off at 1.3 miles, so it's getting a tad bit hotter. There's still a bit of cloudy skies, but I think the temperature is just going to soar a little bit. I probably hit 29 at the max. Yesterday it was 29. Nothing that you really can't handle, but it still can be a tad bit hot. So currently we do have, victory lap at the wrong time, you would think. I don't think Jung Yoon-ji would be too pleased about that, but the fact that she can, avoid the negatives, I think should just be good enough for her. So Bang Chun-sil, Jung Ji-yo, and Han Jin-seon, still maintain their positions at the top. Now look at that. That looks like a Lego constructor's kit. Absolutely love it. But Lee Ga-yong there in, that 4th position, she's with a 9 under. And if she gets another birdie, she moves into the top. Meanwhile, Kim Min-joo will aim for birdie on hole 8. And that's another miss. It's just about that uneven surface next to the hole that's really making all the difference to most of the golfers. So Kim Min-joo settles for an on par. Up next, it's going to be Park Hyun-kyung, another golfer that I do love to watch, just like Huang Yumin, brings an element of, well, a refreshing element to, the golf course. They've got pretty much the goal next door kind of appeal. They are very talented golfers, have been playing from a very young age. They have sparks of brilliance on the course, and that's really what makes all the difference. The fact that you can, the talent, sometimes it's about being a bit consistent, but all said and done, always amazing to watch them. That's another narrow miss. I do wonder whether it's going to change, as the day progresses, but an even score here for Park In-kyung. Just another one of our golfers who's missed out on a birdie here today. And it's not that the course is that daunting. Our golfers have been here before, they've played here before. It's just on that given day, it's a stubborn little ball. I'll put it down to that. Bit of limestone that you can see in the rock formations cut out. There's a bit of landfill in certain areas as well. I think there's a bit of development going on around the area. I should probably go and get my inquisitive nose out and ask a few questions, but I think they are kind of upgrading a few things, maybe on the sidelines. It's an absolutely wonderful course. As I said, just 2 years after being opened up to rank in the top 10, and we're talking of tons of golf courses here in Korea Republic. Here's Park Ji-young, another one of those golfers, very stylistic, very flamboyant. They'll go on with the third stroke for hole number 9. She's on an even score here. Hasn't really, done too much, but having said that, the day is still long and there's still a good bit of time left. Well, just giving that ball enough of a lift to find it landing plumb where it is. And that ball won't have feet, so it'll stay put. Kim Min-byul. Third stroke for hole 9. Well, she's stuck on the border of the fairways. A very elegant. And that's beautiful placement. Absolutely lovely placement from Kim Min-byul. Now, I'd be really disappointed if she didn't take advantage of that position, to get another underscore on the bag. Lim Hee-jung. She's on to her third stroke for hole 9 as well. Park In-kyung will tee off for hole 9. It's a par 5 for the asking here, 475 meters to cover. That's a good bit of a lift in that. Really powered that on. It's a bit of an odd hole when you're looking at, hole number 9. Now you need a bold strategy. You've got to go, over the right bunker on the right dogleg hole. And you'll be rewarded with a 2 on a 10, but the bunker in front of the green does not really give you a good side of the green. It's a bit of an obstruction. The strategy is to bypass the left side of the fairway for both the tee shot and the second shot. And the green is a 2-tiered green with a sunken center front, requiring a sophisticated strategy. Now this is what we're looking at. Most of the greens, most of the carpet area has had layers or tiers that you've got to navigate through. Park Min-ji, a bit of a loose shot there as she tees off, but having said that, she's actually done well. She's got that straight on to the carpet area, just let loose with that. I don't think she was entirely in control of, that trajectory, but I think she's done well. And here we do have, of course, our golfers, well, attending to fans and friends and family, handing them water. Some of them, of course, will click selfies, get a few, well, autographs as well. Here's Lee Yvonne as she gets ready to tee off for hole number 8. She's going in with a 9-iron. She's got her shades ready just in case the sun decides to blaze down. I did say this earlier. Lee Yvonne always in very somber, colors today with a bright yellow. Well dressed for the occasion. Oh, that is beautiful placement. That is absolutely beautiful placement, and this is what she excels at. Well, I did forget about Hong Junmin. She was, struggling a little bit yesterday, but was just trying to get her bearings, find her feet on the course. And every time she'd do that, she'd slip, and then she'd find her feet back again. It also happened to, Kim Min-sun 7, and the golfer who had the most problems yesterday was actually Bang Shin-sil. But this is what the sport is all about. Look at where she is today, right at the top of the leaderboard. Lim Hee-jeong aims for birdie on hole number 9. I just get the feeling that the early morning conditions seem to be a bit more favorable for the golfers. That's another miss here. I'm sure while I have questions in my head, the golfers have even more than that. Park Ji-young. She's going to go on with an attempt for a birdie on hole 9. That's another miss here, but Park Ji-young will settle for an even score, and she's had it even right through on the front 9 as she finishes with 36. I do love her caddy's expression when that ball just slipped by the hole. Oh, he just did a stretch and he was like, oh, not again. Here's Jung Yoon-ji aiming for birdie on hole 8. It's definitely going to be another even score for her. Remember, Lee Yvonne had the closest placement on the green. Here's Kim Min-byul. And that's as close can get to a miss. It's all about that slope downwards that's making the difference. Here's Park Hyun-kyung. She's on to a second stroke for hole 9. Just travel a good bit on the fairways, so I think that should work well for her. Keep in mind the fact that we are coming at you live from the Seongmunan, Country Club. This, of course, is based in Wolseong-ri, Gyeongju, Korea Republic. Park Min-ji will aim for a birdie on hole number 8. That's before Lee Won can try her luck, and that's had a couple of misses in a row from really close range. But those even scores haven't been a problem for any of the golfers. Most have been able to keep it neutral here.
많이 없다.
Getting ready to tee off for hole 1. Here's Lee Ji-hyun, 3. She's got a good bit of power behind that. Lee Won. Chance here for birdie. She's looking at an upward, well, incline. There's no, slope, so this should kind of work for her. That was not going to be a problem, and that, of course, is really a bit of relief for everyone. Birdie after a while as she regains her 7 under score. I think that was a good effort from Lee Won. Perfect placement from her to begin with, and she's got a smile on her face now. And if I'm not mistaken, there's, well, aroma diffusers being handed out. Wonder whether that's one of the sponsors. Well, really, really nice. And by our golfers. Well, that's amazing to, receive a diffuser from one of your favorite golfers. It's one of the great things about, the KLPGA. Well, it's so closely knit with the fans. Ryo Seung-hui. And a bit of airmail on that one for her. Skip straight past the green and onto the rough. Lee Won, well, wins the right to tee off first after a birdie on the previous one. Here she is on hole 9, what we call that tricky hole. That's interesting. Did not put too much of body into that one. I think just kept it fairly subtle. She's gained a good bit of distance and got herself into, I would believe, a fairly decent position. Here's Lee Ga-young. Well, she's dropped to a 9 under. She's gone up to a 9 under. Remember, she's on her second stroke for hole 10, and she's looking at tapping that 10 under. If she does, she'll go straight up to the top. Park Hyun-kyung next. It's a third stroke for hole number 9. Well, terrific effort from Park Hyun-kyung. And she's put herself into a good spot for a birdie now. Landing on the green is so important because most of the holes that we've looked at, especially hole 8, 9, if you get yourself on the upside, that is with a sloping downwards towards the hole, it tends to be a very, very daunting effort. And Park Min-ji, remember, she's a fan favorite. She's also handing out those diffusers. So here we go, still at the top of that trio of Bang Shin-sil, Jung Ji-ho and Han Jin-seon. Lee Ga-young has moved up to a 4th position, or she was there for a while, and she just needs one more, to get into the top tier. In tied 8th, of course, you've got 6 golfers there, with Lee Dong-gyun leading the way, Choi Yun-woo, Ryo Seung-hui, Hyo Da-bin, Yoon Soo-ah, and Yoon Sun-jung. Then you've got that tied 15th in there, but it's really the leaderboard at the top that is making, all the difference. Remember that tied 5th has been very interesting with Yoo Hyun-jo, Kim Si-yoon, and Lee Won. Lee Won, of course, dropping to tied 8th with that 6 under, and then she regained it back. One of the rare birdies that we've seen, in the day. It's almost like actually waiting out trying to catch a rare bird, and then with your binoculars, and you finally are able to do that. So here we are. Let's remind you once again that this is the 2025 Queen's Masters event that we are a part of, and it's been a very interesting day. The Celltrion Queen's Masters has a lot to offer. Stay with us as we take you through round 2. There will be surprises, and I would love to be witness to that pleasantly. Ryo Seung-hui on a third stroke. She's looking to make a difference here, but I think she'll be just happy that she hasn't done anything that would have upset the apple cart. I think she'll look to finish that, and was just waiting for acknowledgement or permission from the other golfers in the group. Here's Park Hyun Kyung, aims for birdie on hole 9, and that's got to be disastrous. Well, it was so. We were talking about that incline now, and it wasn't really a slope, and I think she had a very good chance here of nailing a birdie, but she finishes with an on-par score once again. Meanwhile, Lee Won, well, is on to her second stroke for hole 9. It's quite a distance to cover. 7 under is where she's at currently. Gets a good bit of elevation on that. Lee Ga-young, it's a bit of a distance for her. to claim a birdie on hole 10, but I think she's going to attempt it. 11.1 meters. Remember, there's uneven surface that we're looking at. That ball's going to fall shy. Slight bit of a slope upwards there. Well, most courses, when they do have a bit of a flat surface on the greens or where it plateaus, it can be quite, well, comfortable for most golfers. And I guess one of the reasons why a course like this is right there in the top 10 is a lot of limestone around, as I can see. I'm thinking it's limestone. Would clarify that with you know, the organizers and the course management, but I think it is. I'm not great at, you know, geology as such. Having said that, well, it's really when a course enters the top 10 in the KLPGA, and the reason for it is not just the upkeep, not just the scenic beauty, but it's also the challenges and how challenging each hole is. And I do believe that the Seongmanan, you know, Country Club is a very challenging venue, you know, all said and done. Lee Won looking to, well, further, well, her point score. She's going in with the third stroke for hole number 9. Got a bit of a chilly dip on that one. Well played. Lee Gayong, hole number 10, needs to finish this on par to keep her standing. And I think just a tad bit impulsive with that. She wanted to get it over and done with. She's going to drop to an 8 under. And I think that's, well, a tad bit of a concern for her because she's, you know, 2 spots off the top now. She was so close to having actually nailed it, you know, to probably have finished with a 10 under. Now here's Jung Yoon Ji. Third stroke for hole 9. .86 meters to cover. Absolutely fabulous placement there on the green, and that's so required. Park Min-ji, as I said earlier, you know, that's a divot there. Just have to place it back in place. She's just one of those seasoned golfers who does, you know, come up with the goods every now and then. Does create a bit of magic as well. Lee Won and Park Min-ji well trudging along.
샷! 강민지 화이팅!
Well, you do have the SBS vans around, you know, so well closely associated with them in a way since well, about 15 years. Been involved with you know, other sports that they've, you know, been a part of. Just such a strong company when it comes to, you know, sports broadcast and development. And well, more power to them. Here's Lee Won. Fourth stroke for hole number 9. We'll look to get that well into Roll the tin cup, 7 meters to the hole. But that would have been such a fine finish, such a bit of joy. She did have a moment of it just a while back on the previous hole. We'll have to look for an on-par finish, try and save her points. Park Hyun Kyung up next. She tees off for hole number 10. She certainly did give that ball the whipping. It's travelled quite a bit, and I think she'll be happy about that. Very good tee off from her. Meanwhile, here's Jung Yoon Ji aiming for birdie on hole 9. And she'll miss out on another one here. Still has Lee Won and Park Min Ji to go through their efforts. Needs to tap this in for an even score. The Lee Won is pretty much at the same spot, just slightly behind, as you can see that marker. And it will be an on-par finish for Jung Yoon Ji. Elsewhere on the course, it's Lim Jin Yong, aims for birdie on hole 11. And she's found it in. What a relief here. And every time, well, a golfer succeeds with a putt, it's going to be, worth its weight in gold. Needs to keep an even score on this one. Lee Won. Remember, I did mention this earlier. Hole 9 is a bit of a tricky hole. No worries for her with that finish. Well, that is one powerful hit. A real hard drive there. Park Min Ji aims for birdie on hole 9. And that's a bit of relief as well. As within the 3, she does manage to find her way through, and she'll be glad about that. Lee Ga-young at the other end. Remember, she dropped to an 8 under in the previous hole. It's probably put her in tied 5th. That's well placed. Lim Jong looks to finish on par for hole number 10. No, that isn't too bad for her. Back to Young. Well, just keeping her head steady, keeping her head above her shoulders more than anything during this event. Kim and Biol up next. She looked to finish on par for hole number 10. Not a problem at all for her here. Kyun Kyung will go next. She's got to figure, well, her pathway through, or how she's going to navigate through the course today. Kyun Kyung. Second stroke for hole 10. 143 meters to cover. She's going in with a 6 iron. Spoke of those wind speeds earlier and how it had, well, changed quite a bit since the morning. And I think she's flown the green there for certain. She's had a bit too much of clubbing on that one, Park Hyun Kyung. Time for Oh Seung-hui. She aims for birdie on hole 11. Doable? Yes. Let's find out. 7 meters. We needed just a bit more of a nudge. Lovely banana effort from her. And she'll just back this up easily. No worries here, she acknowledges that. Lee Ga-young having a moment with the club, the ball and the flagstick. She needs to keep well, very consistent through this day. She's on to her 11th hole, does not want to drop points. Needs to clean up here and shouldn't be too much of a worry. Here's Park Min-ji. She tees off for hole number 10, won the right to tee off first after nailing a birdie on the previous hole. She's travelled a fair distance too on the fairways. Lee Won teeing off for hole number 10. She's got 7 under in the bag. Got the camera glancing at her, Lee Won. Just keeping the focus right through this event. And Kyung will go on next as she tees off for hole number 1. Park Yun Kyung needed a birdie on this. It's a 3rd stroke.
그래도 좀 짧을 거 세 선수 중에
Cho Jung-min tees off for hole 1 as well. And as our golfers or the caddies trudge towards, the next destination, just a lovely shot there. And that's the group with Lee Won, Jung Yoon Ji, and Park Min Ji. Lee Won and Park Min Ji just, having a conversation. Well, that's a good thing about golf, isn't it? But you can actually talk to your, rivals and your group members. So Bong Chun Sil sitting at the top there with Jung Ji-ho and Han Jin Cheon, still Lee Ga-yong dropping back into 4th position, or remaining in 4th position but dropping to 8 under. And you've got that tied 5th there where Lee Won is stuck in it too. So we continue with our coverage of this wonderful golf event, and we've still got a lot more to go. Don't go anywhere as we take you through it. Parkman G doing well with her approach shot here. And it's on to Lee Ga-yong, who'll tee off for hole number 12. She's got an 8 under in the bag. Park Hyun-kyung needs to stay focused for this one. Just a very, very narrow miss past the hole for her. I think it's going to be an interesting one when you look at, I think when our golfers look back and they just try and figure out what really could have gone wrong in today's event. Lim Hee-jong onto a second stroke for hole 11. And that's well played. Well played by Lim Hee-jong. Here's Lee Won onto her second stroke for hole 10. She's going in with that 8 iron. So Lee Won, it's going to be interesting to see how she really comes to the party. What can she do? More importantly, I think what exactly she can finish with at the end of round 2. Yes, Park Hyun-kyung as she tees off for hole 11. Very, very good drive from her. She's put a good bit of power into that. Lovely, follow through as well.
자기야, 너 6분전 올려놨더라? 6분전 올려놨더라? 입장했다, 이런다.
Jung Yoon-ji with the third stroke needs to get out of the cat box here. It wasn't a very, very easy one for her. I think she's done well to get out of a trouble spot. Well, just practicing her swing before she can get into doing her thing. Had to rhyme that. Sorry about that. Swang Yun-seo will tee off for hole 1. 344 meters to cover. Parkman G will aim for birdie on hole number 10. It's a bit of a distance for her to cover. And that's well played by Park Ji-young. She will tip her hat to that. She's got a smile on her face, a half smile. She will keep that serious swagger on her ears. Lee Won will aim for birdie on hole number 10. .8 meters to the hole. Still kept herself away from, well, the tin cup, but she'll try and do it. Well, that's just gone through. It's almost like the it's almost like the flagstick was invisible. Lee Ga-young will need to tap that in to finish it off. And a big smile there. She'll be happy as well, just as the audience is. Well done. Jung Yoon Ji looking to finish on par for hole number 10. That's a decent enough finish. Park Yoon-kyung, second stroke for hole number 11. Park Yoon-kyung, not her sprightly self today. Just trying to find a groove, I guess. Well, most of the golfers are, so I can't blame them for it. Here's Cho Hai-ji, 2. She's teed off for hole number 1. Park Min-ji looking to finish on par for hole number 10. And that's just slipped out, which means she's going to bogey that. Jihan Sol. Oh, that is terrific placement from her right here on hole 11. Absolutely marvelous work being done by Jihan Sol. Meanwhile, Lee Won, she's at hole number 10, needs to finish with an even score here. Well done. Keeps herself together. She's been consistent, but she's had her ups and downs today. Hasn't done anything flash, not like the Dawn Breakers did. That trio that sit right at the top, including Bangchan Sil. Well, so happy for her after the motion she went through yesterday. Here's GUI teeing off for hole number 1. Rosengui teeing off for hole 13. Up next, it's Lee Ga-yong. She'll tee off for hole number 13. It's a par 4 for the asking, as we can see. And hole number 13, of course, it's a hole where the fairway is long diagonally. It does touch the wide water surface. And you need to attack the wide lake. That's what you need to do. Now, you need a very strong shot to the left to be rewarded as you get close to the green. The best way is to the right, which will gradually move away from the green. Since the green touches the wide water, a layup to the right and a 3 on attack is recommended. And we were just talking of those hazards and finding a way through this tricky hole, and here she is right on the beach. Lee Ga-yong. Meanwhile, yes, Park Yun-kyung. Well, that green skirt almost matching the background. Seems to blend into it. That is hole number 11 for her. And that just skipped past its destination too.
플레이하겠습니다.
Hole number 11. Here goes Lee Ga-yong. Oh, sorry, Lee Won. And she's found her way back onto the fairways. That's got to be the best expression ever when your caddy hands you a banana and you say, "What is this for?" And well, some refreshment being handed out there by our golfers, always a good thing. Well, I do love, the ladies in the KLPGA. They're such a wonderful lot. Very humble, very friendly, very kind. And they enjoy this event as much as anybody else. And don't forget that the fans actually turn up. Dedicated fans turn up to watch them, and they're never disappointed. Especially with, the standard of golf that is played, and the competition itself is so amazing to watch. Han Ji-won tees off for hole number 1. There we go with the leaderboard at the end of round 2. We've still got the trio of Han Jin-seon, Jung Ji-yo and Bang Chun-sil sitting at the top there. They finished off their day's event. Lee Won, of course, is in tied 6th, and then you've got that tied 10th. Lee Won will have to try and better her efforts. At the same time, I do believe that there will be definitely a lot of efforts coming in from the rest of the golfers, including what Lee Ga-yong can do. She's only through hole 12, along with Yun Sua. She's in that tied 4th with 8 under, and they've got a couple of mates in there as well. So much is expected from Lee Ga-yong going ahead. So here we go with Parkman G onto a second stroke for hole 11. Almost thought she was going to go in with the layup there, but has decided to we'll just get it plumb onto the carpet. Lee Won up next. I think that's just going to spin back a little bit, put herself at quite a bit of a distance. She sits on the border there of the green, and it's going to be interesting to see how she gets through that one. Here's Ro Seung-hui. She's still carrying that 6 under. Will go in with the 7 iron to cover 133 meters. That's for the 13th hole. Got herself onto the rough, but that's not at too much of a distance from the destination for her. Lee Ga-yong with the second stroke. Lim Hee-jong will aim for birdie on hole number 12.
공감나면 이쪽 봐.
Here's Lee Won. Remember, she's at quite a distance. Needs to aim for birdie on hole number 11. We'll try and see what she can do to navigate through this. Will still keep herself at a bit of a distance. I don't think that was the intention, but that's what it is. Just in case you didn't know this, well, the prize money for this whole event is going to be about, well, 1,200 million. Oh, that's 1.2 billion Korean won. 885,334 US dollars. The top winner for this event will get 216 million Korean won, or that's 159,360 US dollars. Yoon Sun Jeong just missing out on a birdie here. We'll need to just tap that in for a clean finish. And our runner-up in this event will receive 132 million Korean won. That's about 97,386 US dollars. And 96 million Korean won to the second runner-up. That's 70,826 US dollars. Park Hyun-kyung will tee off for hole number 12. I do see that lovely Duxiana, well, bed behind. Looks so inviting, always. And I think she's just kept herself away from the flagstick at quite a distance. Hasn't had the best placements here today. She did have one of them, but that was pretty much a bit of a rarity. Temperature's been very, very favorable actually. Wind speeds did go up to a little over 3, but they've miles, but it's kind of steadied itself since. Jung Yoon Ji now aims for birdie on hole 11. Oh, that's beautifully done. a great amount of relief for her. So 2 bogeys in the day and a first birdie, and that's just a positive sign for her. Meanwhile, Ryo Seung-hui needs to get off the rough on hole number 13. Well done. Absolutely brilliant. So those putts have now started coming. And Ryo Seung-hui with a whoop of joy as well. Park Min-ji, could she be next? So 11 for her. And yes, she has. So we've seen a couple of consecutive birdies there. What a joy. What an absolute joy. Now Lee Ga-yong. There's a magnetic shift in the Earth's surface at the core. I was about to say, because those birdies have started flowing in. Lee Ga-yong. And well done. That's exactly what I meant. There is a shift somewhere. Lee Ga-yong as well. She's up to a 9 under back again. Struggled a tad bit. So definitely, you know, a little bit of joy here, not just for the golfers, but for us as well, as we've started looking at those few birdies coming in. Let's remind you once again that this is the 2025 Celltrion Queen's Masters being played at the Seongmonan Country Club, which is right here in Wolseong-ri, Wyeonju, Korea Republic. We are coming at you live, and Park Hyun-kyung is up next as she attempts a birdie from just outside the green. And that's hole number 12 for her. Looks like she'll have to aim for an even score.
이렇게 또 올라갔다가 하니까 조금 한국 내리막에 핑크 같은
Lovely layout, lovely color, especially the trees there, the shades of green always makes for a very, very great setting. Very picturesque, and you know, with those parts of the area where the grass is dried out, the limestone, you know, rock formation, some of it being shaved up for you know, developmental reasons. It's all a very pretty sight, and very earthy, very rustic in a way. As you can see that rock formation behind, you've got that tunnel. Here's Jihan Sol. It's a 12th hole. It's going to be a bogey for her if she can nail it. Oh, that was so close. Looks like she's going to double bogey that one. It's hole number 9. And very well done, yeah. Lemmy Jong, second stroke for hole 13. Well struck, I should say. Park Yun Kyung off next. She will take a minute just to set things right. Give it a second thought. Definitely needs to finish on par here. And that's well played. Absolutely well played by her. She was definitely looking at probably doing a bit better than that. Here's Park Min-ji. Oh, lovely placement there on hole number 12. Absolutely well placed and well done by her. Jung Yun Ji up next, going with the 7-iron. And also a very, very good effort from Jung Yun Ji. Remember, she had a nice finish just in the previous hole. Lee Won will tee off for hole number 12. And Lee Won getting herself at quite a distance compared to her other two counterparts. A bit unusual, but well, she'll have to take it in a stride. There we go with another beautiful, drone shot. Lee Ga-yong on next. Second stroke for hole 14. Park Yun Kyung to tee off for hole number 13. Well, once those putts start coming in, it just changes the complexity of the competition, and you notice that things do turn around a lot more than what they were, and I think that that's really what's making the difference here. Eugenia, sorry, going in with her first tee off. That's for hole number 1, sorry. She's carrying a 3 under score.
여기에다 올리는 거야. 근데 이거 여기에다 올려야 되는 거야.
Here we have, of course, drinks being handed out to, the fans. And really require that, probably trying to figure out whether it's cold coffee or could it be one of the energy drinks. Looks like cold coffee to me. I do love one of the best places, and I kid you not, one of the best places to get your cold brew coffee from any convenience store is Korea Republic. And the quality of the cold brew is just outstanding. Absolutely love it. Great flavor, just a nice balance. Lemmy Jongya aiming for birdie, and that's going to escape her. Does the curve around. All she needs, of course, is a gentle bit of coaxing to get that ball in, and that's what she will do. Johai Lim teeing off for hole number 1.
뒷바람에 마지막 떨어질 때마다 스플라이스.
Lee Won next. Needs to push that from quite a distance. And that's just going to sail past the destination as well. It's been quite a trying time, as I said, for most of its golfers, and then we had a flurry of putts just finding their way through. It was quite interesting, but can that be the situation going ahead? We'll have to wait and find out. The screen pretty much on an island there, surrounded by water, and beautiful to look at from a distance. You've got the lookout point as well on top. Parkman G. We'll just gauge her options here. There is a little bit of an uneven surface there. She'll aim for birdie on hole 12. She's carrying a 1 under score. And that's well played. Well played by her. Lee Ga-yong up next. What can she do here? Remember, she's got that 9 under. We'll need to work a tad bit harder here. Jung Yun Ji will aim for birdie for hole number 12. And that's well played by her. She had a fantastic placement. Well, so did Parkman Ji. It's only Lee Won that was at a bit of a distance, from her destination when it came to placing that shot on the green. Lee Won needs to finish this on par. It's well played by her. If you're wondering what that buzz is off, it's also of the drones. Pretty much, up in the air. Here we go, Park Hyun Kyung, second stroke for hole number 13. She struck that fairly well and fairly hard. Roh Seung-hui. All finishes on par there for hole 14. Do love Roh Seung-hui. She always has a smile on her face. Well, always. Lim Hee-jong will tee off for hole number 14. 321 meters to cover. Par 4 for the asking. Park Ji-young just getting a bit of refreshment. Here's Park Min-ji up next. And she's got a good bit of power on that, and she's also got a bit of satisfaction from that to really whip that hard. Well, a lot of the golfers who did shine last year are back in the running this year. Mara Som was, a bit of a late riser, but she claimed 3 events towards the end of the year. Interesting to see what she does. Well, she hasn't had a great outing here today or even yesterday. Jung Yoon-ji will tee off here for hole number 13. Won the right to do that after she, did get a putt right along with Park Min-ji. Won a right to come in second with the tee off. Park Min-ji also finding the tin cup very easily in the previous one. Now, a couple of big stars, including, Kim Min-byul, Ji-hun Sol, they're all still in there in the running in this event. Roh Seung-hui as well. Roh Seung-hui won last year's OK Savings Bank OK Man Ladies Open on the 15th of September. It'll be interesting to see how she, performs. But right now, here's Lee Won. She tees off for hole number 13. Here's Lee Won, Jung Yoon-ji and Park Min-ji handing out refreshing drinks to the fans. Always interesting when that happens, isn't it? It always is. Here's Park Hyun Kyung will aim for birdie on hole number 13. And that's just going to sit outside the destination. It needs a gentle tap in, and that'll get the job done. Choi Jung-won teeing off for hole number 1. 344 meters is what she's looking at. Does get a good bit of drive into that. Do love the scenic settings of the mountains behind. One of the most fantastic spots to tee off from. You really feel like you're queen of the world. Well, keeping in mind the fact that it's a women's event. Lim Hee-jong onto a second stroke for hole 14, using a 48-degree wedge. Well, last year Choi Yi-rim and Lee Ji-young were, runner-up and second runner-up in this event respectively. Park Min-ji, of course, won the event. Now, if you just look at it currently, Lee Won has won 3 this year. She's got the Doosan ENC Weave Championship, the NH Investment and Securities Championship, and the Doosan Match Play, which was a 9th win, in her journey. Now, Roasting Wheat tees off here. But it's Jeong Yun-ji who won her second career event with the Suyuk Bank MBN Ladies Open on the 1st of June, and she's right there along with Park Min-ji and Lee Won today. So keeping that form, and she's kind of extended that form into this event, which is very, very interesting.
플레이하겠습니다. 멈춰주세요.
Yes, Jung Yun-ji was just talking about her. It's the winner from the previous. Interesting times here for her as Jung Yun-ji, of course, gets away from, well, the green, just about tapping into that. Were rough for a bit. Lee Ga-young teeing off for hole number 15. 135 meters is what she needs to cover. She's using a 48-degree wedge. Remember, our golfers, of course, do get halved, since yesterday. So a lot of those that did not make the cut would pretty much be, out of the running for the championship. But it will be interesting to see how well the golfers today perform, because that's going to be trimmed further down the list of golfers, and you will get the cream of the crop tomorrow. Park Min-ji, she's very eager on defending her title. Hasn't really done much flash. She's had a few good moments since yesterday, but it's just been really a sprinkling of excellent moments from her. Second stroke for hole number 13, 112 meters to the hole. She's got herself onto the green. Here's Lee Won up next. Second stroke on hole number 13 using a 50 degree wedge, and she's done very well. Lovely placement from Lee Won. So just to keep you on the loop, of course, we did mention this earlier, that temperatures were fairly well, easy. And we had a bit of change in the wind speed, so Lee Ga-yong's up next. And wind speeds have come down to about 3 miles. Temperature, I did mention this earlier, we started at about 26 and we went up to 27. It's 29 now. I think it'll remain at that. A Cuban year for Lee Ga-yong. And she'll need to, of course, just tap that in. While at the other end, you've got Lim Hee-jong, who'll aim for birdie on hole number 14. Just gauging her steps well. And how that ball's going to travel. She's also checking the surface, the ups and downs there. I think smartly done, if you ask me. Well played. Gates the situation well. Was totally in control of that. An excellently planned putt from her. Well, so needed. So here we go. Still that trio at the top. Bang Chun-sil, Jung Ji-ho and Han Jin-seon with 10 under. Lee Ga-yong and Yoon Soo are tied fourth with 9 under. Lee Ga-yong is through hole 15. She's still got a chance to move up the order along with Yoon Soo. And that, I think, is fairly interesting. So Lee Ga-yong and Yoon Soo. Yoon Soo has also moved up the order. She's at 9 under only. She's on hole 13, which means she's got a good chance, along with Lee Ga-yong, of tying at the top there with Bang Chun-sil and the other two golfers. In tied 6, you've got Yoo Hyun-jo, Kim Shi-yoon, Lim Hee-jong, Ryo Seung-wi, and Hyo Da-bin all on 7 under. Stay with us as we continue with our coverage of the 2025 Celltrion Queen's Masters. When you open the door, the bathroom door opens. Move. Open it gently.
들어가겠습니다. 이동 붙여주세요. 나이스 볼!
Lee Won just missing out on an opportunity here. And it's one of the strange things you wouldn't really expect. So, well, a couple of golfers, as I said today, they've been going through the motions. Lim Hee Jong teeing off for hole 15. It's all about whether they can really, find their own somewhere in between today. Find that sweet spot, because those, birdies had been very, very elusive. Chung Yun Chi. Here goes Park Hyun Kyung. Third stroke on hole 14. Lee Won teeing off for hole 14. It's an interesting one. You've got the hole in one coming up next with hole 15. Kim Min Joo aiming for birdie on hole 14 here. She's got a 1 over score. Needs to nail this, and yes, she does. Definitely a bit of joy for her as well. She's at 36 on the out. Will be interesting to see how she performs with the remaining few holes left. Ju again. Will tee off for hole 1.
봐도 돼. 앞쓰리야.
A nice finish here for Park Hyun Kyung. It's been a while. And I think moments like these are so needed. You need to find, you need to get an eagle or a birdie every now and then. Haven't really seen any eagles flying today. I think it's probably cloudy skies that are keeping them away. Just, well, seriously.
실례하겠습니다. 이동 멈춰주세요. 실례하겠습니다.
Lee Won onto her second stroke on hole 14. She's carrying a 7 under score. I think she would have loved to have placed that a little bit better, but she's just sitting outside the green. Lee Jong will aim for birdie on hole 15. Park Min-ji onto a second stroke for hole 14. I think that's a fairly decent placement from her. Drives that nice and hard. Gets herself closer to the destination. Here's Jung Yoon Ji, second stroke for hole 14. Can she better, what Park Min-ji did? Well, actually, maintaining a parallel there with Park Min-ji. And elsewhere on the course, it's going to be Jung Joo-ri. Will go into tee off for her first hole. She's carrying a 4 over score. Just the leaderboard again here with Bong Chin-sil, Jung Ji-ho, Han Jin-seon. I did mention this. Yun Soo now in tied 10th there. She's done brilliantly well. She's got, a hat-trick of birdies. And in all, she has 6 birdies in the day, which means she's been a big mover. 6, underscores that she's gathered. And she's up there now in a quartet, tied at first position. While Lee Ga-young is still stuck in that 4th position. It's been a constant for her, but I'm sure she'd like to finish the day, probably in tied first. It's going to be interesting to see whether she can do that, but all said and done, I think that would be really, the intention for her. And, after her trying day yesterday, I do hope that she does, make that possible. So, interesting.
하이 터치. 나이스 파. 화이팅. 화이팅.
바람 많이 생각해줘.
Park Hyun-kyung tees off for hole 15 just as Park Min-ji has just had a moment of success on her previous hole, going in with a par wedge here. Remember, this one of course is just a par 3 for the asking. It's got to be an interesting one, and a hole in one always, well, signifies a good thing. Haven't seen one. Well, this year would be amazing to of course watch that, but Lee Won here after Park Min-ji, she'll try her luck out. Needs to get off the rough and into the tin cup. And that just missed the destination very, very narrowly. Lee Ga-yong. She really needs to, well, she did get out of the beach, but she needs to, well, just better her chances, try and nail that 10 under as soon as she can, because she's been languishing just outside it for quite a bit. And every time that ball sits out there, Jeong Yun-ji, of course, will tap it in for
화이팅.
an even score, and I think that's the best thing that she could do. Well, she too maintains a very, very sincere look right throughout the whole event. We'll see her, well, breaking into a smile every now and then. Ryo Seung-hui aims for birdie on hole 16. Oh, so close, you would think. Lee Won needs to finish this own par to keep her score untouched, and that's what she does.
화이팅.
Definitely a cheer for her. An Sung-hee aiming for an eagle here on hole 16. Oh, this would be a sheer delight. Oh, can still finish here with a birdie. Chance for an eagle missed here by An Sung-hee, and that would have been such a moment in the day. Park Hyun-kyung aiming for birdie on hole 15. Had a very good approach shot, needs to navigate through this well. Or almost does it for her. Well played and meticulously, well constructed shot, but a putt, but it's just about being able to, well, finish it. I think she'll still keep an even score there. Here's Lee Ga-yong now. Needs a birdie here on hole 16 to get up to that tied first. And she's done it. It's been some period of time, and finally, in that quintet of, tied first, she's had 5 birdies and 1 bogey, and then it's the bogey that really just about marred her, progress. Now you're looking for an on par finish. Here's Park Hyun-kyung on hole 15. And Park Hyun-kyung will keep it steady. Han Song-yi looking to finish with the birdie, and yes, she does. There will be joy for her, but she was so close to nailing an eagle. And she says, I at least nailed the birdie to her caddy. It's a bit of joy for her. Almost thought her caddy was going to play rock, paper, scissors there. Oh, Lim Ji-yu really giving the ball the wallop. It's hole 14. Lovely placed effort from her. Right close to the flagstick, and that's what you really require. Park Min-ji teeing off for that hole-in-one on hole 15. It's a big event always. Oh, fantastic. Absolutely fantastic from Park Min-ji. So things just beginning to brighten up a little bit here at the Seongmunan Country Club. Park Hyun-kyung goes next. It's a bit odd when you think about it. Well, I don't just kind of misguided his shot a little bit, I believe. Now it's Lee Won. Lee Won, of course, teeing off for hole 15, along with Park Min-ji and Jong Yun-ji. They've all had decent approach shots, but Park Min-ji's is just head and shoulders above the rest. It's a good chance of her finishing with a birdie as well. It's a very nice finish. Kept it smooth, kept it straight. That's as close as it could come. Well, to the flagstick. Here's Kang Chae-yeon aiming for birdie on hole 14. Oh, well done. Kept it straight, kept it simple. And just what was needed for Kang Chae-yeon. Lee Won is up next. Really trying her level best to get past that 7 under score, but she's maintained it. I think that's kind of going to work in her favor. Chance here to take it to 8 under on hole 15. Well, knows that she had to play this well, very close to Well, the flagstick needed a bit of a curve. I think that's just curved a bit too much for her. A very strong banana effort from her. Almost took a right dip. Meanwhile, here's Parkman G. She had the best placement. Can she finish with the birdie? Oh, what a narrow miss. And it's just about that curve there next to the flagstick that's making it so difficult. She'll have to settle for an on par, but what a tragedy. She had such a beautiful placement there from the tee off. Here's Lee Ga-yong. Remember, onto a second stroke for hole 17. So as we continue with our, well, mini exodus that is walking towards, well, the next challenge or the next point. Well, tomorrow it's going to be entirely different. We're going to see the crowds come in, and it's absolutely fascinating. The long and winding road, that's what we have in front of us. Don't know if you're familiar with the Beatles song, but well, that's what it really is. And it's quite a walk down, mind you. You ever wonder why most golfers have really strong legs, whether it's the girls or the guys? Oh, you do have to walk a lot. It's not like leisure golf where you could just, you know, well, use the buggy to get around. Well, that's just escaped her entirely. It's Kim and Bjorn who's getting ready next. Yun Sua on with the second stroke for hole number 7. There's Lee Gayong aiming for birdie on hole number 17, and this could take her above the current quintet that she's stuck with in tied first. Will be interesting to see if she can upgrade her chances here. Well, almost does it, but she's still very much in there, in that top spot. She's played a very, very focused round of golf here today. And I think this is so needed now. Park Hyun Kyung onto a second stroke for hole 16. It's been an interesting one for her. Well, she too just gets a bit too much of clubbing on that. She too has had a fair share of trials in this event. But Park Hyun Kyung doing well to still stay in the running. That's going to sit just outside the green. Lin Jiu will tee off for hole number 15. That's well placed, just on the border. Ryo Seung-hui aiming for birdie on hole 17. And I think she's just missed out on a very good opportunity just to have change things around a little bit with her fortunes. Lee Won will tee off for hole 16. This is going to be very interesting for her because she's still stuck on that 7 under. 3 more holes to go for her if she needs to change things around.
내리막에 천천히 내려오세요.
Well done here. Ryo Seung-hui will finish with an own par. Here's Kang Chae-yeon. She had a birdie just a while back. She's on to a second for hole 15. Needs to chip that through, and I think she'll have to also take an even score. Park Hyun Kyung, third stroke for hole 16. Yun Sua with her third stroke. So not much has changed since we started off in the morning. There was a good session, and then of course a slight dip in performance. And we've looked at so many golfers missing their putts. Lim Ji-yu here as well, and they're just right in the midst of it all towards the late afternoon. We did see a bit of a change where golfers started finding their way through, finding the tin cup, hitting the flagstick, but that seems to have dipped out once again, and it's a bit of a lull. At the Queen's Masters Celltrion 2025 Championship. Now here's Yun Sua as she aims to finish on par for hole number 7. She'll be thrilled about that. Lim Ji-yu on to her third stroke for hole 15. And she's just sailed well past the hole. So tomorrow's battle is going to be a very, very interesting one, because Pete Bangchen still had a bad day yesterday. Today, well, she had wings to fly with. We've seen Lee Won, really struggle a little bit, but she's maintained some consistency. Lim Hee-jong now with a second stroke for hole 17. She goes in with a power wedge, but more importantly, I think the battle's going to go down to the wire. It looks like we've got a couple of golfers in there who really did shine today, and many who should have, but who've just not been able to get off the starting blocks too well. Some have sprinted and some have walked today, and Lee Won is among those that have actually trudged along. There's Kang Chae-yeon finishing with an on-par finish on hole 15, and she's up to, she maintains a 5 under. So there we have the quartet right at the top. Bangchen, Sil, Jung-ji, Yo, Han Jin-seon and Lee Ga-yong. Yun Soo-ho was in there, has dropped to 5th now with 9 under after dropping a point. Choi Yi-won is in 6th position. Then you've got the tied 7th that also has, Ro Seung-gui, Lim Hee-jong, Hyo Da-bin. And I think what's really going to be important is, how the top order really maintain themselves. Will Lee Ga-yong stay up there? Will Yun Soo-ho finish? Because she's still got a hole or two of an advantage over Lee Ga-yong, so there's a high chance of her, finishing at the top as well. So always a joy here, to cover the KLPGA events where you do have, such big challenges. And there are days and there are tournaments that we've had, this year where the birdies have been in free flow, literally. But today, it's been a bit of a rarity. So was yesterday. And tomorrow, of course, with, the number of golfers reduced, it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. Because in the finale, golfers get even more cautious than they are on day 1 and 2. And on day 1 and 2, when we've had a scarcity of birdies, I'm just kind of eager to see how round 3 will actually play out. But we're still in round 2, still very much in there. We've still got a few golfers, tapping at the top order. So stay with us, don't go anywhere as we continue with our coverage of the 2025 Queen's Masters Celltrion Open. And this, of course, is being played at the Seongmunan Country Club in Korea Republic. Park Yoon Kyung, that's probably the 4th time today that this has happened to her. That's just kind of, gone past the edge of the hole. Missed out on about 3 or 4 birdies in that same manner. And it's not just her, it's a couple of the other golfers as well. As I said, there's a magnetic force pulling the ball away from the tin cup. Well, on to Yoon Soo-ah, who also surprised us today. She's had an amazing day, actually. I think she finally landed up with the bogey in there after having those amazing 6 birdies. Now, here she is, Yoon Soo-ah, teeing off for hole number 8. 129 meters to cover. Remember, it's a par 3 that she's looking at. And that's just creeped out of that, little ditch there. And that's a fine finish. Well, certainly needed that. And Lim Hee Jong's been, having her day as well. Park Min-ji on to a second stroke for hole 16. Park Min-ji trudging along. I do love this rockery. I've said it before. It's like a miniature or bonsai version of what the Niagara Falls would be if water ran out for a bit. Well, it's the best way I could describe it. Kim Min-byul, she'll aim for birdie here on hole number 17. She's carrying a 4 under score. And I think she'll do well with that. It's a bit of joy for her as she's up to a 5 under. And I think the golfers really have to set themselves up for what can happen tomorrow. And the higher the score here today, the more your chances of getting in tomorrow. Here's Lee Yvonne. 3rd stroke on hole 16. Kim Jae-hee laying for birdie on hole number 9. And that's well done by her. Absolutely well done. Park Min-ji will be happy. Well, it's kind of strange when you look at it. Park Min-ji's caddy, well, is probably the tallest I've seen, this event. And, well, she's petite too, just like, not as much as Lee Won, but it's always a sight to see the two of them. To tie for lead here, Yun Sua just missing out. She was right up there, in the first position on the leaderboard. Did drop down. It's been a bit of a struggle for her to get back up on top. Lee Won. She needs to find a birdie desperately here to, better her position. She's still at 7 under. Oh, what a miss. What a miss. Just moving towards the outward left area. Here's Jung Yoon-ji, third stroke for hole 16. That's a good hard push from her as she moves towards the flagstick, but I don't think she's going to find her way through. Kim Min-ju, second stroke on hole 17. She's back to an even score. She had, done herself well a while back. And Park Min-ji does well here. And she's got a whoop of joy as well. She's enjoyed this day. You can tell that right through. She's had a very, very eventful day. She's made steady progress too. Here's Park Yoon-kyung. Second stroke for hole 17. 109 meters to cover. Yoda Bean. So 3 birdies in there. She's done just enough to keep herself at that 8 under. And this is the last hole that she's playing for the day. That's going to be a third stroke. Oh, what a joyous moment that would have been to have found its way through. Sung Yoo-jin will look to finish her event today with a birdie. And that's well done here by Sung Yoo-jin. Finished with 72 on round 1, 71 on round 2, and a 1 underscore at the end of 2 rounds. Choi Hai won with her third stroke for hole number 9. A decent approach from her. Jong Yoon Ji will aim for birdie on hole 16. And that just slipped out. That's a bit unfortunate for her. She definitely would have liked to have finished this clean. I think Jung Yoon Ji will just be pleased that she could get that over and done with. Meanwhile, here's Ro Seung Wee. Very fluid, very nice follow through from her, and well, a decent enough effort. Park Man-ji gets ready to tee off for hole 17. Par 4 for the asking, 343 meters to cover. Well, hole 17 itself does hold its own share of challenges. Let's not forget that it's a hole high on both sides. The fairway is very low. It looks comfortable, but it's a long par 4 hole. A straight tee shot to the center of the fairway is good. The more you send the ball to the right, the more difficult it's going to be back to attack the green. Lee Ga-young, who's the joint leader here. Third stroke for hole number 18. Almost thought she was going to go in with the layup, but she's got it plumb onto the carpet area. And she receives, well, the divot back. Was almost like a frisbee back into her hand. Yes, Lee won. And she'll tee off for hole 17. Well, slowly coming towards the end of round 2, where our golfers will try and do their best.
Oh.
Big cheer there for her. Right there at the clubhouse, you would think Ro Seung Wee aiming for birdie on hole number 18. This would be a good way for her to finish off. She's actually silently done very well. She's at 7 under, just in case you haven't noticed, and she's just kept chipping away at each and every hole that she can. Well, almost a perfect ending to the day for her, almost. And I think she'll be able to finish this well. So Ro Seung Wee finishes with 33 on the out, 35 on the in, and a 7 under. I think she'll be pleased with that. She's got a smile on her face. Also looking to finish well. Her event later on will be Park Yoon Kyung right now, aiming for a birdie on hole 17. And that's finally through. Sigh of relief from her. It's taken a good bit of time, missed out on about 3 or 4 putts like that, and finally one through for her. One more hole to play for Park Yoon Kyung. Meanwhile, here's Lee Ga-young. She's had an interesting day too, and if she finishes with a birdie, it'll be fantastic. But she's currently the joint leader with a quartet of golfers up there. Oh, that's just slipped out. She could have finished at the top of the heap. A bit unfortunate for her, but she will claim it and she will stay in tied first. Well, good showing from her. 33 on the out, 35 on the in. She's got a 10 under, and Lee Gayong, well, pulling in 4 more points today after yesterday's 6. So she knows it. She could have finished with 11 under, but I think she'll be happy with the performance. Ryo Seung-hui also has done very well. We're going to see these golfers back, tomorrow. But we still have a few unsettled matters, and that, of course, is with our golfers who've been in focus. Stay with us. Yes, Hyora Bean aims for birdie on hole 9. This, of course, is going to be her last, play for the day. If she can finish it in 1 putt. Well, that ball certainly required legs, but I do believe it was going to curve away from the tin cup anyways.
세발 반, 그래서 4발.
네.
4발, 4발.
Yes, Bachman G, second stroke for hole 17. That ball's going to travel a little bit, but another fantastic, placement from her. We've seen her do that for much of today. Jong-Yun Ji, second stroke for hole 17. Oh, that's just matching her, group mates' efforts. And An Seung-gi just missing out on a birdie here in her last effort for the day. So An Seung-gi finishing with 70 points in round 2, 69 in round 1, and a 5 under overall score. We'll see her back tomorrow. Choi Hai-won, sorry. Onto her 4th stroke for hole 9. We'll look to end with a birdie today. And that's narrowly missed. Lee Won with her 2nd stroke. Wonder whether she's going to attack the green straight or go in for a layup. I think it probably is definitely going to be the green. It's only 109 meters. She's using a power wedge. Well, Lee Won going even better than her counterparts here now. Choi Hai-won looking to finish on par for hole 9. And she does, which will be a relief for her. She's finished with an 8 under today. 3 birdies in there and 1 bogey, but it's been a good showing from her. Lim Hee-jung will go next. She's carrying an 8 under. This is the 3rd stroke for hole 18. Here's Kim Min Byul. Third stroke on hole 18 as well. She has attacked the green, but it's at a bit of a distance from her destination. Yoda Bean. Decent enough putt. So much needed. Yoda Bean finishes with 67 in round 1, 69 in round 2, and she's got 8 under to another one of the contenders for this championship. We're definitely going to see her back. Lemmy Jong might do well if she lands this birdie. Gauge the distance. It's not easy. She's it's quite far apart from
Okay.
and that's a decent cleanup. So Lemmy Jong finishes with 36 on the out, 33 on the in, and an 8 underscore. Had just one bogey in there today. Meanwhile, here's Kim Min Joo. Second stroke on hole 18. Park Yun Kyung having a quick conversation with her caddy. Here's Park Yun Kyung, second stroke on hole 18. 242 meters to cover. She's still on that 5 under. We will see her back tomorrow, unless she does something drastic that changes it. Pretty much, as I said, getting towards the end of the day's action, where most of our golfers will be getting through the penultimate or last hole. Here's Lee Won, will aim for birdie on hole 17. And she's missed out on so many. And I just said that Park Yun Kyung had missed out on 3 or 4, and Lee Won's gone through the same motions. Her points, she could have been about 13 or 14 under probably. Now here's Kim Min Byul. What can she do? Needs a birdie on hole 18. And that's in. That's in. A pleasant end here for Kim Min Byul. 6 under the score. She's had a hat-trick of birdies to finish with. Had 3 bogeys in there as well. But those hat-trick of birdies have been a good showing for her and a very good finish for round 2. Yun Sua, another one of the surprise golfers. Pleasantly surprised us today. 77 meters to the hole. It's a third stroke. She'll look to finish off her day as well with a birdie. But she's still got the opportunity to finish off at the top of the heap along with a quartet that's already there, including Bang Chun Sil and Lee Ga-yong. Now Jeong Yun Ji aiming for birdie on hole 17, and it's doable. And yes, she's just about managed it. Just what the doctor ordered, if you ask me. We're just looking back at the course itself, and the country club that we are at currently is located right here in Wolsong-ri, and there's a bit of history behind it. It's full of the energy of the moon symbolizing abundance and the energy of clean pine trees. We'll talk a little bit about the history of this place, but Lee Won looks to finish on par for hole 17. And that gentle tap-in will do it for her. So one more hole to go for Lee Won. Now, if you didn't know this, the name Seongmunan comes from the original name of the area. Seongmun means a castle gate in English, and was originated from the fact that two huge rock walls were similar to the gate that protected the village back then. Ji Han Sol with the second stroke on hole 18. So, Seongmunan means the village protected by the rock wall. So, Seongmunan Country Club, it's operated by HTC Resort that takes care of tons of amazing golf courses in Korea Republic, listed as one of the top 10. It was designed by Ro Jun Tak, the CEO of Loga ENG. Park Min Ji, well finished with the birdie here, and she's certainly gone up in leaps and bounds. It's been, as I said, a fantastic day for her. She has enjoyed every moment, come from behind literally, had a very poor showing yesterday, but today it's been an entirely different story for her. So now while this entire course was designed by Ro Jun Tak, vent grass has been used, a double layer, which is planted throughout the fairway to create a soft shot, and provides a tee off every 10 minutes. Also keep in mind the fact it's got a legendary clubhouse. The clubhouse won the domestic and foreign architecture award, and it's been attracting attention from the industry as a new club, that opened up. So the reason for it is it's an eco-friendly clubhouse, and the clubhouse is used as a nature. It used nature as an architectural element, and there's modern beauty. There's exotic rock gardens, and it has a panoramic rooftop. Beautiful place. It's got an Italian restaurant called Fioretto, really amazing, and a Start House restaurant dedicated to golfers. It's a resting place for a lot of golfers here. Kim Min-ju, third stroke on hole 18. Oh, that is a terrific approach shot from her. So much of confidence in there. Just driving that towards the destination, and she could finish with a birdie to end her day's event. Meanwhile, Yoon Soo-ah also has a chance to finish with a birdie here and finish her day, right at the top. We'll have to play this carefully. Oh, well done. Absolutely well done. So Yoon Soo-ah now forms that quintet in there, and look at those birdies. She's had 7 birdies in there, finishes her day with a birdie as well. Had 1 bogey as a blemish, but I don't think she's going to complain. Park Yoon Kyung on hole 18. That was the third stroke. Bit of a tough approach shot. Needs to cover quite a distance to the flagstick. Here's Park Min-ji. She tees off for hole 18. Jung Yoon-ji will follow next. As she tees off. Remember hole 18. It's a par 5. 476 meters that we're looking at. It's a long par hole floating on the primeval forest. Now the key to the tee shot is to attack the large long bunker on the left side of the fairway. Notice most of the golfers will angle their shots to the left. There's a wide fairway leading to the green, and you really can exploit that. It's a hole that calls for a very good shot, but the green sits on top of the bunker. It's a hole that does not let you rest. You've got to keep improvising with this particular hole. So hole 18 is a tough one, remember, and it's placed right on top, as you can see. Ji Han Sol here will go in with a third stroke for hole 18. Remember, you can't knock it too hard, and you will fly the green, and if you do fly the green, there's a chance you can go out of bounds as well there, but Ji Han Sol does well. Here's Lee Won teeing off for her last hole of the day, hole 18. And that struck nice and hard. Decent follow through, put a lot of effort into that. Park Hyun Kyung, remember she's got a lot of distance to cover. So here she aims for birdie on hole 18. Remember, this needs some real skill here, but golfers have surprised me on every other day, so 5 under her current score. And that ball's just going to fall shy or fall short of reaching its destination, but I think she wanted to play it safe. I'm sure she didn't want to bogey this last bit of play and the last hole that she's playing in the day.
번호판이 아니고
이거 울타리, 울타리.
울타리에 딱 걸쳐 있었어. 그래가지고 아니 누가 봐도
맞아. 근데 그것도 되게 신기했어. 아니 나 지금 예선 통과해야 되는데 나는.
나 뒤에 땅바닥에 앉아서 카메라 구경하고 있을 때
나 지금 예선 이거 통과해.
Well, a couple of our golfers having a chat after having got through their day. Lee Gayong is in there. A few of them still practicing, and here we go back to the action as it is happening. And it's going to be interesting to see Jihan Sol. She's aiming for birdie. She's got a 1-over score. Would be a nice way for her to finish the day as well. And that straight path's the destination for her. Very nice finish. Jihan Sol finishes round 1 with 72 and round 2 with 73. Here goes Lee Von. Second stroke for hole 18. Will definitely be keen on a layup here. She's driven that fairly hard.
너무 많이 왔다. 이거 예원이. 이 정도 안 긁는 게 나아 차라리. 예원이죠.
It's a little bit more towards the green for her, but she's kept herself on the fairways. Kim Min-ju, chance here for a birdie to get back to an even score. And that's what she does. So positive finish for her at the end of round 2. 73 in round 1, 71 in round 2. Finishes with an even score here. Well, had a few good moments today and had a few tough ones as well. Park Hyun Kyung played it safe, did not want to do anything fancy schmancy just to jeopardize, her points. And she'll finish with an even score. So 5 under, that's what she finishes with. 34 on the out, 36 on the in. Well done there by Park Yoon Kyung. Hugs all around for, well, Ji Han Sol. And we're down to our last trio here. Lee Won, Park Min Ji, and Jung Yeon Ji. Park Min Ji, of course, has had the greatest movement today in this group. She's really enjoyed her second round. So Lee Won onto her third stroke. This is the approach to the green. It's going to be interesting to see where she places it. And that's just, well, flown a bit past the green. I think we would like to have lofted for, well, just a softer shot, I do believe. Here's Park Min Ji. Park Min Ji with the 4 under. Her third stroke for hole 18. Will be interesting to see if she can finish with a birdie. And she too has just flown past the flagstick, very close to, actually keeping Lee Won company. Now let's figure out what Jung Yeon Ji does here. Jung Yeon Ji, well, much gentler effort from her, and she, well, falls a bit short of where her, well, counterparts have placed their, well, ball. You can see the clubhouse there. Was just talking about it. It's quite a fantastic clubhouse. You know, if you ever get a chance, you should, you know, come over here. Seo Ji-yoon, she's teeing off for hole 15. It's that hole in one, well, hole that she's going to be looking at. Rookie of the Year 2025, Rookie of the Year 315. Struck fairly well.
근데 그거 쳐야 돼. 그거 안 쳤으면
Well, let's remind you that tomorrow we're going to be starting an hour earlier, just as always, and that is for the finale. There'll be fewer golfers in the mix, and what you're looking at, you know, that last stand there, which kind of is close to the clubhouse, well, that's the area where it's going to be really crowded. Now you can still see a few seats there. Forget about it tomorrow. You're going to find a lot of people standing down, in fact, all those who don't get the first come, first serve seats. And Lee Won will go first. Well, that's going to be a Cuban for her. Well, she will finish off with an even score. That shouldn't be too difficult for her, but keep in mind the fact that she's had, Well, just 1 point to claim here today. She's moved up from a 6 under to a 7 under today. 66 yesterday, much better. 71 today and 7 under. We'll see her back tomorrow, and you never know. She might come out with a few sparks flying. Meanwhile, we've still got a settle where Park Min-ji and Jung Yoon-ji finish off their event. Park Min-ji knows it's going to be difficult from this area. She's got a 4 under score so far. Will aim to finish with a birdie. And that's going to be an even score for her as well. She knows it. So she's had actually 6 birdies and a bogey in there, finishes with a 4 under score. I think that should be fairly decent enough for her, but let's figure out how well Jung Yoon-ji finishes her day's event. But before that, here's So Ji-yoon aiming for birdie on hole 15. And Jung Yoon-ji. .2 meters to the hole. Oh, that is an outstanding finish. What a way to end round 2. And Jung Yoon-ji, 37 on the out, 33 on the in. She's had 2 bogeys and 4 birdies, finishes with 7 under to tie with Lee Won. So it's really a good showing as she finishes off her event. Very, very good showing from her. And Park Min-ji, of course, also delighting us with a few great moments, lovely celebrations from her. So that was pretty much for round 2. We are going to run through, some of the best moments of the day. Keep in mind the fact it's going to be a packed house tomorrow, and we'd love to have you back with us. But for now, let's look at what transpired in the day. So on the 16th hole, that was Jung Ji-yo. Absolutely, stellar performances, in the earlier part of the day. And a birdie from Jung Ji-yo. Well, that setup was so beautiful earlier from her. Then on the 18th hole, well, really fine moments that we're looking at. And Jung Ji-yo was right there at the top with Han Jin-seon, and that moment took her to the top spot with a 10 under. Well, that slew of birdies in there. She had such an eventful day today, Jung Ji-yo. Amazing, really amazing. A buzzard as well as so many birdies. And Han Jin-seon also doing well to finish there, but hole 16 she had gone up to a tied first. And then on the second hole, well, some really fine moments that we saw today, as well as on the third hole. Well, it was such a fantastic showing that we saw from Bang Chun-sil today. It was just phenomenal. She just kept going stronger and stronger, right there. A birdie on, hole 5 as well. And I think today was probably one of the best showings that we've seen. And then Lee Ga-yong doing her own, as she stretched and stretched and worked very hard to get into that tied first position. And here she was on, hole number 5. She stuck at number 4 for most of the time, but finally made it through. Bangchan once again. What an amazing performance from her. She was in 3rd position with 9 under, and that's where she achieved, the top spot. Finished off the day, in tied first. Amazing, really amazing performance from her. It was birdie after birdie after birdie. And of course she did have a bogey in there as well. Lee Vaughan didn't do herself too many favors. She had some very good approach shots, but missed out on a couple of putts. And there she finally went through to finish that. And on the 16th hole, it was Lee Gayong back again with that birdie, and that took her into tied first to form that quintet. I do believe it was such an amazing time. And the other, of course, was Yun Sua, who was also fantastic, in her showing. It was Lim Hee Jong, as she nailed the birdie too as well. Had a few silent performers like Lim Hee Jong, just went about their, efforts like a regular day at the office. And Lee Gayong needed to finish this with a birdie to top it, but she had to finish on par, and she's still stuck there in tied first. She could have been the leader actually. So 33 on the out, 35 on the in for Lee Gayong today. And then of course Yun Sua, let's not forget, she had a very, very good outing today. That was a fantastic approach shot. She needed to finish with a birdie to join the 4 others at tied first. And, that's exactly what she did. So those are our front runners in there. Bangchan, what a fantastic performance from her. Very quickly, let's remind you what the leaderboard looks like. Bangchan, Jung Ji-yo, Han Jin-seon, Yun Sua, Lee Gayong, all with 10 under. And the greatest mover, of course, was Bangchan with a 10 under score today. Absolutely fantastic. And then you've got, of course, a trio there in tied, 6th, and then you've got all the others following suit. Keep in mind the fact you've still got, Kim Min Byul in there. You've still got, Lee Vaughan as well as Jong Yun Ji, all tapping away at the top order. It's been a very interesting day for us here in the 2025 Celltrion Queen's Masters. We were coming at you live from the Seongmunan Country Club. And it's been a very, very exciting day for all of us here at Wolseong-ri, Gyeongju, Korea Republic. From me, Glenn Mascarenas, and the entire production crew, it's time for us to shut shop and ship out of here. But we'll be back with you tomorrow, where, believe you me, it's going to be the most exciting day of all. After all, it is the finale. See you then.